unimplementable. Those are your big three. Lagos, let's talk. Some Nigerians are bribing healthcare officials, healthcare workers, to give them vaccination cards without getting vaccinated. And now the government is cracking down. That's our first story. We heard from Faisal Shuaib, the executive director of the NPHCDA, and he said, quote, there is zero tolerance to these types of activities. The DSS and ICPC are involved. Once these individuals who are involved in this vaccination racketeering are charged to court, then, of course, the public service rules will be followed, and that will lead to potential suspension and firing of these health workers. There is zero tolerance to these types of activities. Strong words. Strong words from the federal government there. Yesterday, we also heard something similar from the state level. You remember we had a conversation with Haruna Yusuf. Haruna Yusuf is the head of the Edo State COVID-19 Task Force. And we spoke with him during the Big Hard Fact. And I'm sure you know by now that Edo requires you to show your vaccine card before entering a government office or attending a public event. So I asked him how they're going to weed out people who have fraudulent vaccine cards. Right? If you missed the interview, you can actually listen again on our website, Nigeria Info FM. But of course, if you can't listen on the website, you can listen to this very short clip. We've been seeing reports of health center personnel giving people vaccination cards without vaccinating them. So the person has all the proof of being vaccinated, but they didn't actually go through with it. I've had several people who have sent me messages and proof of that happening at their health centers in Lagos, in Enugu. I don't know if it's happening in Edo. Does the state government have any mechanisms in place to confirm people's proof of vaccination? Is it actually impossible? Because what they're claiming happens is the health workers allegedly give you the card, allegedly also put your name on the internet digital database, so that if anybody scans your card, your name is showing up on the digital database as vaccinated, but you did not actually get the shot.
Yeah, since that last week that we commenced this enforcement exercise, we started getting information, and we have since embarked on internal mechanism to figure out, because there are specific persons who are entitled to handling the vaccination cards. And we have started doing internal auditing of the card. How many goes out, how many comes back. And as we speak, about 4 persons are already going through scrutiny by our Ministry of Health. And hopefully, probably before the end of today, they will be formally handed over to the Security Department for further investigation. But these 4 guys have been seriously indicted because their accounts are inadequate and they could not inaccurate. And so there's a reasonable suspicion that they may have been involved in giving out vaccination cards to unvaccinated persons. So all of this mechanism and a structure is being developed in Edo State to ensuring that this is put to a complete stop. The level of the SIOs, the supervisors, and the local government immunization officers, and I think there are several stages now that the cards have to pass through, and also the return of it, so that we can minimize.
You can circumvent this. Oh, that's brilliant. So at the state level and federal level, government is trying to find and stop the people who are buying and selling vaccine cards fraudulently. But that's inside Nigeria, right? How will other countries react to these reports of fraudulent vaccine cards in Nigeria? Will it affect their willingness to recognize legit vaccine cards like mine? Will people's wuru-wuru stop me from traveling during my next leave if I have to go somewhere else, if I'm on leave? Because me and you people will have problem. Because right now the answer isn't clear. We're hearing reports that the UK government may reclassify Nigeria to the red list. But the NPHCDA has also come out to say that this is not going to happen. The NPHCDA has come out to say that they've gotten assurances from the UK government that it won't happen. We're going to talk about that angle on Friday during the Big Three Global. But for now, I want you to tell me why. Why are some Nigerians ready to pay bribes to get a vaccine card instead of just getting vaccinated? And why are health workers ready to commit fraud for these Nigerians? Those ones who are ready to commit fraud, though, the ones who want to buy the cards, though, why? Women call me on 01465 7190. Men call me on 0700 993 993 993. Help me understand, Lagos. What do you think about this phenomenon? Why is this happening? WhatsApp is available. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. 080-959-75805. Ezekiel from Ajay is our first call. Hello, Ezekiel.
Yeah, Sandra.
Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can I comment on the statement of El-Rufai?
We've not gotten there yet. That's still very far away.
Okay. Now you're talking about the bribery of the card issue, the vaccine card. Sandra, when the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? Nigeria itself is bribed and a bribery country. And let me tell you, as far as anything is concerned that is being done successfully in other times, there is always an NF, Nigerian factor, to everything. And that is because the people at the helm of affairs, as a leader, are not responsible.
But the people who are health workers are not leaders. They're health workers. They are not
Sandra,
leaders. So
Sandra, the fish got spoiled from the head. Now, if the people you are referring to, the nurses, so to speak, knows that there is going to be a discipline towards any form of disloyalty in their service, would they engage in that act?
So you think because there are no consequences, that's why?
Yeah. So that's the issue. So in everything we are doing, if we are trying to define leadership in Nigerian way and not the universal way of what leadership is all about, and even servanthood or stewardship, then these are things we find inevitable.
Ezekiel, thank you for calling. Godfrey is in Ikeja. Hello, Godfrey. Thanks for calling us.
I used to call. I used to call before, but not on this show.
All right, Godfrey, welcome to this particular show now. You're talking to Sandra. Go ahead.
All right. You see, based on the topic, frauding on the vaccine, giving people cards. I think those, what do they call them? Health
care workers.
They find it's an opportunity. Since the top people, they are using the avenue also to get their own. But it is very wrong. So they want to use the medium to also benefit from ongoing. Because even the top people, that's what they are doing. They say billions have spent over the situation. We don't know where the money are going. So I believe the health center, they are also using the opportunity to say, okay, see, this thing has come to me, let me get from it. But it is very wrong.
Okay.
So that's my take.
Godfrey, thank you very much for calling to share your take. If you just tuned in, hello to you, good afternoon. Some Nigerians are bribing healthcare workers to give them vaccination cards without getting vaccinated. It just does my head in that something like that can be happening. I'm just trying to understand why something like that will happen, how something like that can happen. I mean, are we not thinking about the implications of this thing for Nigerians who have businesses abroad, who have to get vaccinated because they have to travel? Because imagine the double cost. You get to another country, you're vaccinated in your own country, but they say, oh no, the vaccines in your country, we don't trust it because your countryman and countrywomen are doing wuru wuru. So you still have to isolate for 10 days. And a lot of the isolation, you're having to pay for it by yourself. How dare you call to complain about politicians or political leaders if this is something that you're doing by yourself? These are not political leaders. These are not politicians. These are you people. Why? Uchenna is in Ogun State. He's a first-time caller. Uchenna is not there anymore. I hope he calls us back. 99.3. Hello. Sorry about that. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for calling. What's your name?
Good afternoon. I'm Mr. Ejiofor.
Welcome, Mr. Ejiofor.
I'm calling for ablation.
Help me understand why something like this is happening.
Well, President Sandra, this country we are into, people are making us to believe to say that everything is possible in Nigeria because the government we have, the way they have placed Nigeria, they have just placed it as the business of their own, anything you like to do.
But this is not government. This is not government. Mr. Jaffa, these are people like you and me that are healthcare workers. Now then they sell the card. Now people like me and you, they go meet them. Call me back if you can. Now people like me and you, they go meet the health workers like you and me, tell them, say, I don't want to choke this vaccine. Give me the card. I go give you money. They go write your name as say you don't take the vaccine. They go put your name for the internet. So when you want travel, even ordinary Ghana where you want go, they no go agree you make you enter the country because they go say, we know say for Nigeria they fake say they don't get vaccine. Oh yeah, come pay for self-isolation afresh. Come do another test afresh. You know if you just submit your card, say I don't vaccinate, come work out they go. And I'm trying to understand why. Like, don't take it. If you don't want to take it, don't take it. Why do you have to ruin it for everybody else? Eddie is a first-time caller in Victoria Island. Hello, Eddie.
Hi, Sandra.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, this vaccination thing, there are two things. One, I went to take my second dose of the vaccine on an earlier date because I'm scheduled to travel. And they were about giving the vaccine when they now found out the date wasn't the right date. So they canceled it. But I scanned my card now and it's saying that I've taken the second dose. So that tells you that people are not properly trained. Hello?
I'm here. I'm listening.
So that tells you people are not properly trained. And on the issue of people getting cards, paying for cards, what do you expect? What do you expect? The health workers are on strike. Nobody's being paid well. So they're selling the cards. The foundation is faulty. They are not properly trained. They are not properly paid. So what do you expect? There's going to be a collapse. So anybody that buys the card and is not vaccinated, the person obviously might even die from COVID. So it's a lose-lose situation for everyone.
Eddie, thank you so much for calling. Our second story is the Iyana-Era Road closure for 1 year. The state government wants to build a 20-meter bridge there. The road closure and diversion will start this Friday. Did you hear that? This Friday. A lot of Lagosians are wondering whether a 2-day notice is enough. I don't know. What do you think? Imagine somebody who just rented a shop there a couple of weeks ago. Do you think this information, if they had it ahead of time, would possibly have influenced their decision? Now, I should be clear. It's not as if there will be no road into the area for 1 year. There will be diversions. For example, if you're driving towards Ajagbadi and Igbobo, there will be a diversion at Era at Daloko roundabout. I know I'm murdering the name, but sorry. Now, you'll be allowed to drive against traffic on the lane. that usually leads to badagry. But then again, it's still an inconvenience, right? Because, I mean, for those of you who are in both directions, I'm pretty sure it's still an inconvenience. Traffic levels are bound to increase, right? I don't know. If you live or work in the area, please let me know how you think this will affect you. Will this affect you? The government has given the reason for this major work. They say that the road keeps spoiling because there's a swamp and the road continues to sink. And if you listen to hard facts, you know my next question, right? Why didn't anybody notice that they were building a road in a swamp? Were there no civil engineers in the ministry when the road was planned? But I don't want to look for trouble today, so because the decision, they'll build a bridge, it will take them here. The questions now are, how will this 1 year affect Lagosians? Is this bridge the best solution, in your opinion? Because now you got to use the road. So let me know. 0700-993-993. We've got WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. And there's Facebook, where you can share your thoughts too. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. Alaba Alakbe on Facebook says, Sandra, are you surprised about how the unvaccinated people are getting the cards? If you're surprised, Alaba is not surprised at all. Because every 4 persons standing in our country today, there must be one criminal in one way or the other standing amongst the people. Look, Nigeria's power of money is so much. If you have, money in this country, you can buy anything and you can buy anybody. So, madam, don't be surprised at all. No, I understand that, people are going to want to circumvent the process. But as healthcare workers, why are you ready to commit fraud for some random person that doesn't want to get vaccinated? 5K. Go pass. Bata 20K. Is it worth it? Is it worth the hassle? Is it worth the bad reputation that Nigeria will get outside? Because this thing that is happening, the world is watching, the world is listening. Nigerians who travel abroad will face a tough time. But I guess you say, how many of us did? I bet all of us come to Nigeria. Is that not witchcraft? Joseph is in Victoria Island. Hello, Joseph. Joseph, hello.
Hello, Sandra. This is Joseph.
Yes, thanks for calling. Go ahead. Yes, please, go ahead.
Even me, I'm still doing the same thing, because where I work, they are forcing us to vaccinate before you can work. Definitely, I don't have any choice. They can give me the fake, the money, do it. I'm going with my work. That is it.
Where do you work?
Yeah.
You work in Victoria Island, and they're forcing you to get the vaccine before you can keep working. Why don't you want to get the vaccine?
I'm not that convinced about the vaccine.
Okay, what are you not convinced about?
I know, no, normally COVID is real, but I'm not convinced about the particular one to Nigeria. But all this free stuff, I don't trust this government.
But you've heard that first. Okay, there's a lot that I have to unpack. But the first thing first is you realized that you're committing fraud, right?
Yeah.
You realize that you're admitting to me that you're about to go and commit fraud.
Yeah.
You realize
about
that?
Fraud now.
No, but that's what it is.
They
It's
should let me
fraud.
continue my work now. I'm not forcing them to. I must get the vaccine now.
They're trying to protect everybody in the including.
Okay, wait. Does it mean that I don't love or I don't like myself?
That it means if you don't want to get vaccinated, it means you don't like yourself. Actually,
no. You can't love me more than myself. So I know what's good for me.
If you knew what was good for you, you'd get vaccinated.
No, I understand, but I'm not convinced. I know COVID is real.
I know you know COVID is real, but
fine, I'm not convinced about injecting. I can't to do it. Those are doing the sign up for name, but as for me, I can't.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. Does he not take medicine? Does he not, are his children not vaccinated? Does he not care about other people? I don't even know where to start. Because suddenly this is the first injection that he cannot take. All you people who sowed misinformation out there, and you people who spread fake news about this virus and the vaccines, I hope you go to a very hot part of hell. Let's move on to our final story. Apart from this Iyana-Era Road closure, the Lagos State government also passed the Anti-Open Grazing law. And in our third story, Nasser El-Rufai says this law cannot be enforced and that this is simply political. El-Rufai is, of course, the Kaduna State governor. And as governor, he has previously said that open grazing should end. In fact, all 36 governors agreed to this, both northern and southern. But El-Rufai is saying that the laws that Lagos and other southern states are passing won't work. He said, quote, "What is unhelpful is the politicizing of the situation and pass legislation that you know that you cannot implement." The Northern State Governors Forum has already taken a position that open grazing is not a sustainable way of livestock production. And we must move towards ranching. But moving towards ranching cannot be done overnight. We have to plan, we have to have resources, and we have to implement it. End quote. Now, when El-Rufai talks about needed resources, he's talking about the money needed to create ranches, right? He says, quote, "In my state, for instance, we're developing a huge ranch to centralize the herders, and that is the solution. But can it be done overnight? No. This project that we're doing will cost about 10 billion naira. The CBN is supporting us with about 7.5 billion naira, and it will take about 2 years to do. We'll be settling about 1,000 full herders. I hope that they will see that there are alternative ways of producing livestock instead of running up and down with cattle going to people's farms to cause all kinds of problems. We want to solve the problem." End quote. So a lot was said there. Let's try and unpack it. Let's start at the end. Notice that Governor El-Rufai has gone on the record to say that the herders are people who are going to other people's farms and causing problems. Did you hear that? Because it's important to point that out because there's been a lot of back and forth over who is causing the clashes. So that's the first thing. The second thing, El-Rufai is the government is bearing costs of setting up the ranches. Now, let's remember that a ranch is private herders, not to the government. Now, when the herders sell their cows, they make profit. That profit is not shared to the taxpayers. And that's why some other states have refused to build ranches for the herders. Their question is usually, what makes the herding business special? Why should government bear the capital costs for this type of business, but not the other type of businesses? And I want to know what you think about this. Do you believe that beef consumption is special enough that state governments should subsidize the cost of the transition from open grazing to ranching? Or do you believe the herders, like other businessmen, should find the capital to build the facilities required for their business? Also notice that the CBN is giving the Kaduna State government 75% of the capital needed to build this ranch. El-Rufai says it will cost 10 billion naira. CBN is giving them 7.5 billion naira. Do you believe that this is a good use of Nigeria's money by the central bank? And speaking of the central bank, you have to keep listening because at 5 o'clock on Balogun and Broad, I'll be talking about their planned digital currency, the e-Naira. Don't miss that conversation. But back to El-Rufai. He said that anti-open grazing laws cannot be implemented. They cannot be enforced. Do you agree? Well, some of you do. Some of you called yesterday and talked about enforcement. You were worried about enforcement as far as the Lagos law was concerned anyway. But Lagos State government disagrees. They say that the law will be implemented by a task force under their Greek ministry. The task force will have military and police personnel. The ministry will issue permits to herders who want to use an enclosed area for grazing. If anyone is grazing in an open area, the task force can impound their cows. If they're grazing in an enclosed area but they don't have a permit, the task force can impound their cows. Do you believe that such a system cannot be implemented? Or do you think that it can be implemented and it simply needs seriousness? 0700-993-993. Do you agree with El-Rufai that government should build ranches for herders before banning open grazing? Or do you believe that these private business people should source their own capital? Do you even think that they're private business people? We've got Samuel on the line. Hello, Samuel. Thank you for calling us. Samuel, are you flashing us on Skype? Please don't flash us on Skype. Skype is for our international listeners only, and you're allowed to call us. You're not allowed to flash us. Baba G is on the line. Hello, Baba G.
Please.
Welcome, Baba G. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank God. Sandra.
Yes.
What El-Rufai said, implementation matters. I think we have this program topic on this platform, and I said it a few days ago that to enforce it is not going to be a tea party. We know Lagos, and El-Rufai has said the obvious, that the implementation is like there are some people, they read meaning to anything that happens in Nigeria. That is why El-Rufai said that the implementation will be very, very difficult. But if Lagos State government said, look, there's no problem. Hello?
I'm here. Uh-huh.
Yeah, if Lagos State government, there's no problem, they are going to set up a task force that will implement. And I think we should be very careful, because a situation whereby you set up a task force, who are the people that will be in that task force? But let me say, El-Rufai, he has said it all. I think we should try, as a matter of urgency. It's not enough just to pass it be into law. For you to follow it up is very, very key. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. We've got messages on WhatsApp. Sandra, I really wonder when Nigerians will learn to appreciate that what is wrong and not always couch the situation, citing that politicians are corrupt. So if people in government are hell-bent on being self-destructive, should we toe their line? The sooner we learn to accept that these nuances do not hold water in the eyes of the world and doesn't do well for us in the long run, the better for all of us. Let's stop double talking. Duncan from Ijegun with that message. Sandra, on the Iyana-Era Road issue, I passed by that road last Wednesday. Machines are already on ground to start work. The swamp is already flooding the road from one side to another. If that road is not worked on, it will lead to a major disaster, but the notice is just too short. The other accessible road is Alaba International, and it's always in heavy traffic due to the offloading of goods by the importers. This move is just to suffer Lagosians. TJ from Wilma. But it sounds to me like they're damned if they do, damned if they don't, right? But perhaps they could have given longer notice. Sandra, this is the first time I feel you get angry. Let's face it, possessing a huge population only for selfish political gains of the privileged few rather than purposeful development doesn't qualify you as a first-class citizen and render others second. Neither does it destine you to rule over others for eternity. Little wonder how a northern governor made a contemptuous statement on anti-open grazing laws in the south. Fix your region. Yomi Williams with that message. But Yomi, all of them agree. All the 36 governors say that, open grazing should stop. Let's take a look at more messages. All right. Sandra, an 8-year-old boy, his father taught stealing, will use his leg and break an iron door. Oh, that's what government taught Nigerians. I don't buy that. I mean, the gentleman who called into the show to tell me, well, I'm going to find an opportunity to do it. Nigerian government did not teach him to do that. There's such a thing as personal integrity. Where's your personal integrity? Because if you are listening to the experts and you're not listening to what some person cooked up in their toilet and is presenting to you as proof that these vaccines are bad for you, if you're listening to the doctors, if you're listening to the researchers, the scientists who went to school to learn how to do this stuff, if you're listening to them, then you would know that these vaccines are safe for you. But if you cuckoo say, oh, they're not safe, then bear the consequences of deciding to stand on your principle of, I am not going to take the vaccine. The consequences are you will not be able to access some places. You will not be allowed into your office. You may even lose your job because you're refusing to be vaccinated. That's the consequence. But you see, Nigerians don't do very well with consequences. We don't like consequences. We don't want to punish people when they're wrong. We say, oh, please forgive them. And we don't want to be punished when we're wrong. Oh, please forgive me. But consequences are a thing. If you decide that you are principled enough to make a particular decision, then follow through and bear the consequences. Don't try to cut corners and do wuru-wuru and then turn around to blame government or say it when the fish is rotten or the head is rotting. No, the only head that is rotten is your own, because you are your own man. You're a full entity, or your own woman, a full entity. But that's just, my opinion. We've got John Okorafor, who says, if we, the populace, complain bitterly during the heat of the NIN registration of being swindled by the staff of that agency, I don't think it should surprise you that the healthcare workers have seen their own opportunity. Sandra, people paid money to get national ID. That same government said it's free. When people complained about the payment to the same government that the ID is free, the government did nothing. So that's it. We're back to what I was saying earlier on. This is about consequences. Lucky from Aja says that an Instagram model and a nurse assistant were arrested for selling fake vaccine certificates, and they've sold hundreds because of the demand for fake certificates by Americans. Why are they blacklisting Nigeria? It's not a Nigerian thing, it's a humans thing. All right. Ola from Ijebode says, Sandra, a caller said he cannot trust the vaccine. Did his parents care about how and where the polio vaccines were made that they gave him when he was born? I want to say, I don't know what you're trying to say here. I think you're trying to say that there's no hope that Nigeria can be good again. The foundation has been polluted. I don't know if I got that right, but thank you very much for your message. 99.3, hello.
Hey, Sandra, President Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good to have you on the show. What's your name? Hello? Hello? Sorry. Call back if you can. 99.3.
Are you with me?
Hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there since more than 7 minutes now.
Sorry. Welcome. What's your name, sir? Hello? Hello? Oh, wow. Hello? 99.3. Hello?
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name?
I'm Andrew.
Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you. President Sandra.
Yes.
Due to what El-Rufai said, it's really, really so sad. Because for me, I look at it as, is this a government business or a personal business?
What do you think?
Is this a cow of a thing, a government business or a personal business?
What do you think? Do you think it's a government?
This is a personal business.
Okay. Why do you think why do you think it's a personal business?
It's a personal business because those who gave those Fulani men the cows to be, those herders, to be grazing up and down, where are they? Why can't they make those ranches themselves? Why will government put an hand in it to make ranches for them? I think if you own a business, you need to take care of the business, not government taking care of the business for you.
Okay.
So why would it come up saying government will have to put things in place for these people? Why is the government now have to put things in place for these people? Is the government having hand in the business? All these things I don't see anything. Nigeria is all full of scam.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. 99.3, hello.
Yeah, Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Yeah, Ezekiel from Aja.
He called back. Welcome back.
Yeah, Sandra. I think someone needs to tell El-Rufai that there are people that knows how to listen very well. And that he shouldn't believe that he can speak anything just to anyone. It is, Sandra, for me, there is an handwriting and an hidden agenda. And the very purpose of this is the reason why they are bringing all this to Kano. Because I cannot imagine what that man is saying.
How did we go from cows to Tucano?
No, Sandra, let's be down to earth here.
Okay.
How could you be telling, okay, let me say this. Has there been any town hall meeting to actually justify that, yes, the people actually are in line and in consonance with what the governor is even saying? Now, by the way, the business that we are talking about, the ranch, is it a private business or a government business? And by the way, what is the business of this government, so to speak, on issue of livestock stuff, something, and ranching or this? So I'm trying to tell you that there is an hidden agenda. And let me say this to you, Sandra. Sovereignty belongs to the people. No man, in fact, there was an incident that happened in the Bible. Even God said, tell the king to listen to the people. When the leader fails to listen to his citizens, that's to tell you that God has actually forsaken him.
Okay. All right, Ezekiel. Rotimi is in Agege. Hello, Rotimi.
Yeah, Sandra, good evening. How are you today?
Very well. Good evening.
Oh, good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon. Yeah, I want to talk about the ranching. Yeah, I was opportune to see an enclosure at Ijebode.
Okay.
I think it was like an hectare of land and fenced land.
Okay.
I looked through and I saw cows inside the place, and people were going out to go and cut grass for them.
Okay.
I went in there. The people feeding these cows were Yorubas.
Okay.
You see, we see opportunities in Nigeria. We make noise. They want to do this to us. They want to do that to us. But you see, the Chinese and Lebanese will come. They will buy our land. They will bring the cows, and they will start the ranching on their own. These will be foreigners. Nobody has ever told me that Yoruba man cannot breed cows. Nobody has ever told me that an Igbo man cannot breed cows. But the only thing we are shouting is Hausa Fulani, Hausa Fulani. Maybe we rear goats locally here, we rear chickens and all those things. Why can't Yoruba man and an Igbo man take an opportunity? Why do we always see obstacles where we should see opportunities? And somebody within somebody is coming up to ourselves. We blame government every time. These people in government, are they not the same as us? Is it not the same Mohammed, the same Emmanuel that are there? They're so wicked. We see these are opportunities for the Yorubas, for the Igbos, for the people in the middle belt. We have jobless people. We are saying come and land poultry, come and land. Let us land piggery, let us land cow farming. The land belongs to all of us. Maybe we buy land to plant maize and go. Why can't we just even use bamboo to even start with 10 cows for each unemployed graduate in Ondo State, in Osun State, even in Lagos State? Must we wait for the Chinese and the Indians to come and now buy the entire Ogun State, buy the entire Lagos State land, free land, buy the entire Osun State free land, and now bring the cows? We now go and be working there. We will now be complaining that we are not being made contract staff on our own land, where we fail to see the opportunity. Every time we complain, Northerners. Have we not intermarried? Don't we have I was opportune to be in Sokoto State. I wanted to eat pounded yam because I'm from Osun State. And somebody said, just spoke to me. The woman was speaking. I said, later on I got her information. I said, Madam, you are from Malaysia? She said, yes. And this is a woman that has all her families over there. We've been in Lagos because we're in a comfortable area. We start dividing the nation with our own mouth. We're starting what we cannot finish. Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you, Rotimi, for calling. We've got a message here from Williams, who is in Anthony. Williams says, Sandra, there's almost no law in Nigeria that is being enforced properly. Does that mean that we should stop passing laws? El-Rufai is being insincere. After all, he too has passed laws. Someone may say he is not enforcing them. Let good laws be passed and be on the books. Tomorrow, the implementation capacity may increase. Williams, thank you very much for your message. Let's take a look at Facebook, where we have lots of messages. We'll start with this one here from hold on. Dinkba Ogweri. Dinkba says, good afternoon. I believe rearing of cattle is a private business, so let the owner of the cattle take care of their animal by providing areas where their animals will eat. We've got Alagbe. Well, let me take another person's message because I've read from Alaba before. Oluwisdom Wachiku says, when you make a vaccine compulsory, which ought not to be, why are you surprised that persons unwilling to take the vaccine have found a way to circumvent it? The vaccine should not be made compulsory, or the unvaccinated should not be hamstrung to take or marginalized to force them to take it. Yeah, but why should me as a vaccinated person be forced to mingle with you as an unvaccinated person? Why should my life be put at risk as a vaccinated person because you have decided to be unvaccinated? Because you're only thinking about yourself as the unvaccinated there. You're not thinking about me as the vaccinated. And you're forgetting that the more you go unvaccinated, the longer the virus stays with us, and the more the virus mutates, becomes more deadly, more dangerous for everyone. I don't know if Michael is still on the line. He's in Aja. Hello, Michael. All right, Mike.
Good evening.
Oh, you're still there. Great. Welcome. Good evening.
Let me contribute. I want to start from El-Rufai.
Okay.
First, let me warn the nation that there is going to be a second wave of banditry in this country by this voice. Because some people believe they have the monopoly of arrogance or banditry or call it whatever name, that they own the country more than the other. While some of us citizens, they think some other are second-class citizens. And whatever they say must hold. That is why you look at a state like Lagos with over 15, 20 million people promulgate a law, and you will sit down there in Kaduna and say the law promulgated will not function. Then you said, okay, you are spending so money. In the first instance, what they are supposed to do first is what they left to do at the last. They should have negotiated if they are of good mind that, this is a responsibility. Let us look at it like this. It was this same El-Rufai, if I remember very well, that made us to know that the Fulanis that are troubling the nations are foreigners, that they are not the local Nigerian Fulanis. Now, if he had advised that, it's going to be so expensive, we might need time. All he needs to do is to talk to his political ally and say, let's do the anti-grazing thing, but give us 6 months or 1 year. I think they will have reason with him. But now he came after seeing what he said it's not going to work. That is for El-Rufai. Please, let me talk about the jab. You were the one that talked to us about Indian. Now, you remember sometimes in Africa, is it Mauritius?
Yes, Mauritius.
That created something. It was condemned. Now, India has done something, I think, approved, but giving their own people jab, they said they will not accept it in Europe. So there's segregation. Where are we going? Now, please take note by nature.
It was Madagascar, sorry, not Mauritius.
Euphoria for just elections, for orthodox medicine, for even the local agbo. do you remember very well that when the medical personnel were asked about making a must for people to get jabs, and before all these policies start coming up, the medical sector went to the courts that it has to be free will. They are not giving us our free will. They are enslaving us just because they are in position. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Michael, thank you very much for calling and sharing your opinion with me. It was Madagascar, not Mauritius, that came up with their own Abu Madagascar. I like to call it Abu Madagascar. And they themselves have now said that their Abu did not work. I remember that when yellow fever was endemic, it was compulsory to get the vaccine before traveling abroad. A lot of you have said, well, why are they making it compulsory? Compulsory vaccinations are normal in pandemics. It's just that, well, all of us have never been alive during a pandemic. And a lot of us are not asked about, going to go and look at how things worked during other pandemics. Because if you did, you'd see that the behavior today is absolutely normal. It's the same thing that happened then. It would take for people to start dropping like flies before people start begging for the vaccines to be given to them. But compulsory vaccinations are normal in pandemics. That's why infant vaccination is mandatory, Seth. It's mandatory for previously endemic diseases like polio. So this is not new. How come we don't complain about those? How come we complain about this particular one? I know why, because you have voices that tell you it's about control. We've got Adesina Ayatoyinbo from Matogun on WhatsApp who says El-Rufai's counter reaction to the anti-open grazing law only confirms that indigenous herdsmen have been part of these killings and attacks. It's only a southern governor that can tell if it's workable or not. What is he trying to do? Advocating for the herdsmen evil to continue? Enforceable or not, he should allow it to be tried first. And talking about education investment, is it not still his job as a governor? Who is he advising exactly? Enough of talk, please, practical. It's high time we addressed our issues from the root as Nigerians. What do you expect from the citizens of a country where palliatives were hoarded and none of these government officials who engaged in this act have been brought to book? You see, those health officials who are found fraudulent with the vaccines are only copying the government officials. It's sad. Thank you very much for your message. Let's take a look at more messages here. El-Rufai is right in the sense that those that enacted the laws need a voice like his to enable enforcement. That's a message from Udom. Udom, thank you for sending your message in. Sandra, so they have now confirmed that it is the Fulani herders that are the cause of the problems. Central Bank is now paying for ranches 7.5 billion. Why they have not paid the same 7.5 billion for Alaba traders and trade fair traders or Lagos Island traders. This is why people complain about nepotism, which has eaten deep into Nigerian economy. Some tribes are not treated specially than others. That's a message from Sean. Sean, thank you for messaging us today. If anti-alcohol law works in Kano, tell El-Rufai that anti-grazing law will work. That's a message from Benson Okoli. Benson, thank you for your message. Let's take a look at more messages here. Sandra, good afternoon. The Nigerian people are funny. Someone called you on the phone giving excuses and saying that things are annoying and that they will say they are educated. He says he knows or loves himself more than any other person, telling you he knows COVID exists but that he's not convinced about vaccine. What kind of I too know is that? I'm sure everything in his house and office are foreign made, yet it is vaccine that will harm him because of those spreading lies and different conspiracies, always thinking that they are wise, but it's pure ignorance. That's a message from Sam in Satellite Town. Sam, thank you very much for your message. Let's see if we can take one final call and then we'll bring you today's glass ceiling where we'll wrap up our conversation about work-at-home spouses. I don't know if Philip is still on the line. Philip, are you there?
Yes.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're my
Good
final
evening.
call. Good evening. Welcome.
Yeah. Sandra, I applaud your good work.
Thank you.
I'm a fan of the station, and I appreciate all your good. In fact, from my own point of view, you are the only people working in this country.
Thank you.
The situation we are confronted with is the one that leaves every average Nigerian mad. Now, an Igbo man will import container, do the clearing, rent a shop, and foot all the bill, stock his stock, and start sales. Now, somebody will rear cow. The man that said, okay, we should take advantage. We've been rearing cows and livestock, and we don't infringe in other people's business. It doesn't clash with others. We restrict their movement to the best of our capacity, not allowing it to constitute nuisance in another person's own business. But here we are in a country where some sections are sided, well taken care of. Every of their plight is taken as priority. Some are sacred cows, while others are slaves. In the same country, eventually, what do we turn those people to? People that lack reasoning. Now, at the point, I began to feel, why are we in this mess? Now, some other people will claim electioneering is the best way of understanding who goes and who comes. But the basic bedrock of democracy is rule of law. Every lawless land faces anarchy, and that is what we are facing.
Okay.
Nigerians are good, but the system is destroyed already. You say, let us vote him out. You vote him out, you bring another person in. The next man will teach him how to do the wrong thing. And at the end of the day, nothing happens. But until we begin to make people, by law, institute the rule of law, make it the priority, then everybody will be conscious of his doings. When you know that if you vote him out, and that person comes, he stays the whole year, there's no impeachment in this country. Why? Because there is no law.
Thank you so much for calling us, Philip.
To mitigate all these excesses.
Let the laws be there to mitigate excesses, Philip says. Philip, thank you very much for calling us and sharing your thoughts on the show. We really appreciate it. All right, let's bring you business news. After the business news, let's bring you today's glass ceiling. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili.
News. Former Nigerian ambassador to the United States.
Sports.
That's the Belgian who doesn't miss. Bottom right corner, Manchester City.
And the best talk. All at your fingertips on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
And now the business news.